The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area. Steppin Out is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
Whether it's the latest museum exhibit, the newest restaurant, or the current hot play,
we appreciate the weekly updates on the arts, music, and entertainment. Let's step out.
I'm Peggy Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Bobbie Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Great to see you. Hello. Bobbie Miller, who is the chef de cuisine for Dickie Brennan's Palace Cafe, here to preview a special meal concerning WYES. Welcome to our table.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Absolutely thrilled that you're here. Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and TheaterCriticism.com. Howdy. And speaking of theater, making his Steppin Out debut, Leonard Raybon. And he is the artistic director of Summer Lyric Theater at Tulane, here to preview an incredible season that's just about to begin next weekend. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Before we begin, I wanted to show you this antique diamond fleur-de-lis pin, which I'm wearing. And we're going to have a close-up of it, too. This is circa 1870, 1880. It's from Kyle's Antiques on Royal Street. It's silver-topped yellow gold over 6 carats, and they are old mine cut. And Kyle's Antiques we're so thrilled that they are supporting this weekend's Antiques Showcase at WYES on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There are lectures and the opportunity to bring in items for evaluation. WYES.org/events for more information and ticket info. Poppy, a drag queen brunch in time for Pride Month.
Well, there's a whole lot of gay pride going on in this city right now, and big congratulations to 2 of my very favorite gals, Debbie with the D and Laveau Contraire. That's the A-team from my Drag Queen Brunch book. And every Sunday in June, St. John is hosting drag brunches that will feature those lovely ladies with seatings at 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. There's a small nominal charge to attend the brunch, but different from most brunches, it's not a fixed price. You have to pay $50, $60 or more. You can order from the full regular brunch menu. And a portion of the proceeds benefits the No Age NOLA, which is a nonprofit advocate group for LGBTQ elders. And then the last weekend in June, Chef Eric Cook's other restaurant, Gree in the Lower Garden District, is getting in the act with a Saturday drag brunch. They're doing that in conjunction with Mockley non-alcoholic cocktails, and a portion of the proceeds there is also going to the No Age NOLA project. And the other thing that everybody needs to know that Gree is doing all summer is they're having a bottomless summer. How's that for something? And that means bottomless mimosas for just $22 as an add-on every day during brunch between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. And of course, that's at Gree in the Lower Garden District. Now, more big gay pride celebrations going on at IU Bakehouse down on Frenchman Street. Those delicious creations those girls come up with, and they are serving special gay pride pastries. Now, these are not all the gay pride pastries. These are some of my favorites. A delicious piece of focaccia, There's, oh my goodness, that muffalata breadstick, Peg. We had that down here, remember? But this is inspired by drag royalty. So right there you see the Lakeisha Lorraine, and that's a bacon and Gruyere sort of quiche sort of thing, but it's not. It's all pastry with a crisp cheese fascinator. You see how casually the hat sits. There's also Frenchy Toasted, which is overnight French toast stuffed with cream cheese filling and fresh berries. Now, that's not a gay pride carrot cake either. That's something I simply had to have for dessert when I was there the other day. But on that gay pride menu, they've got the Miss Mosa, which is satsuma curd, champagne cream, and fizzy little pearls on top, and the Benedict Cumberbatch with a soft-boiled egg nestled into a hollandaise pillow. And 10% of the sales benefit the NOLA Pride Center. And even Brennan's is getting in the gay pride spirit with tomorrow their Disco in the Daytime happy hour, which is happening in their courtyard there from 3 until 6 p.m. Also over at the Napoleon House, you can learn Pride history at that happy hour from 3 until 5. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention that next week is NOLA Restaurant Week, June 16th through the 22nd, where brunch, lunch, and dinners are specially priced between $25 and $56, with dozens and dozens of restaurants participating. So just check it out at neworleans.com.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And speaking of food and wonderful things, Chef Bobbie, it's great to see you. You have been with Dickie Brennan's how long now?
Right about 15 years.
Just about 15 years. Amazing. Wonderful. And of course, you were at Palace Cafe, and thanks to you all. WYES gets to be the recipient of a lovely dinner as a fundraiser coming up. Tell us about what we can expect in the dinner.
Of course, this is our second year doing it, which we loved it last year. It's a chance to really get creative. We have a crab and tomato watermelon gazpacho. We have a Creole tomato caprese that we're doing, some house-made porchetta. We're doing a crispy seared duck breast, and then we're going to have a nice flourless chocolate cake with a raspberry coulis.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. And of course, there's still a few tickets available.
Yeah,
so
just a few.
Definitely go to wyes.org/events and sign up for those tickets. And this is going to be soon. It's going to be Wednesday. So all kinds of good reasons to help out WYES and really enjoy Dickie Brennan's Palace Cafe. Now, we have a little show and tell, too, because you wanted to show us one of the signature dishes on your menu. Tell us about that.
This is the crab meat cheesecake. It's been on the menu for over 30 years now.
And the recipe is in the Drag Queen Brunch book, by the way.
It's right up. I'm pointing to it here. You see look how beautiful that is. And I can't help but notice that it's enveloped by beautiful breads. Tell us about the breads.
Yeah, so we have just brought Bellegarde Bakery on board with the Dickie Brennan and Company. It's still run by all the same people. It's the same process. Everything is exactly the same, but it's just now with us. They are really special because they mill their own
Gorgeous.
wheat.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. We use it at all of our restaurants. It's available in several retailers and at the commissary for purchase.
Wow. And during the summer, there's a tradition, isn't there?
Oh, the Palace Cafe temperature lunch. Yes.
How much is it today, Chef?
$9.10.
Where can you get lunch for that?
Because it was 91. In
It
other
was
words,
91 yesterday.
Yes.
So every day we get the temperature of the day before, and then that is the temperature of our lunch the next day. And it's a weekly special that we do.
Oh my goodness.
Weekdays only.
Weekdays.
Wow. and just in case somebody doesn't know, the Palace Cafe, of course, was Whirline's music store. A very grand building, and you all are so wonderful to have retained the beauty of it all, too.
yes.
I mean, that's a
Gorgeous.
magnificent. And it's three floors, isn't it?
3 floors of
Wow.
seating.
Look at this. This is the view from
That's what everyone always always says it's that spiral staircase as soon as they walk in.
Absolutely gorgeous. Well, congratulations on all your success, and you are a graduate of the Culinary Institute.
Yes, correct, in Hyde Park, New York.
Wow, wow. Well, we're so lucky to have you here, too. Thank you
so
very much. And moving on to Mr. Leonard, and how you all do 3 major Broadway shows in less than 3 months during the summer. My goodness. But we're going to kick it off, literally, I guess, with a chorus line. And let me just say this, too. For many years, you were the interim director, and now you're the artistic director. No more interim there. But your day job is also that you're a professor, of course, at Tulane, too.
That's right, yes. Yes.
So you've been there for a long time, huh?
I have been. I've been employed by Tulane in this sort of capacity for next year. It'll be 25 years.
Wow.
I've been doing roles at Summer Lyric before that it'll be 30 years. So the last 3 years I've been interim, and this is my first appointment as the artistic director, and I'm very excited about it.
My goodness. Well, the first show is a chorus line, and before we talk about it, let's kick off a clip, an exclusive clip from, yes, a rehearsal of the chorus line.
One smile and suddenly nobody else will do. You know you'll never be lonely with you. No. One moment in her presence and you can forget the rest. For the girl is second best tonight. Give her your attention, do I really have to mention she's
All right, next week.
That's right.
We get to allow folks to go and get those tickets now. And for one weekend only.
It's always just one weekend, yes. June 19th is opening night, so.
And of course, for ticket information, liberalarts.tulane/summer-lyric-theater. There it is. But if you type it in something close to that, it'll usually pop up.
Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about that. But my goodness, congratulations. And
Thank you.
but that's not all. You've got company.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, we have. Actually, this whole season is the first time, long overdue, that all of our directors are women. And so we have currently, Jeanne Buisson is directing and choreographing a chorus line. Leslie Castay, as we all know Leslie, will be directing Company. And of course, veteran to directing at Summer Lyric, Diane Lala will be directing Carousel at the end of the season.
Carousel is, first of all, I'm so excited about Company because I'm a Sondheim, big-time fan of that. I remember the production, the Tulane Summer Lyric production of Company way back when. So it'll be so nice to see it back on the stage. And Company has indeed really had quite a revival, even on Broadway, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, with the sort of gender-bending Bobbie. Of course, when that happens on Broadway, it's many years, if ever, that us common folk get to do those really innovative changes. So we're doing the more traditional
And you
version.
have, is it Bogdan?
Yes, that's right.
Bogdan Minka?
That's right,
Okay.
yeah. This
Who's
is,
gonna be
I
Bobbie?
believe, his first role with us. I believe. But anyway, yes, he's going to be Bobbie in the show.
And normally he is an opera singer. And so I just didn't realize his versatility, that this time he's going to have to bring it down a notch and be more in terms of musical comedy, so he can do both.
He can, I think he's very versatile.
Very exciting. So that's coming up in July. And then Carousel. Now that is not, this is of course Rodgers and Hammerstein. This is not a production we see very often.
No, it's a problematic show because of the domestic violence that is contained in it. And so we're being very careful about how to frame it, how to contextualize it for today's audience. Not sort of shying away from the issue, but just kind of facing it head on with the way we present it, the kind of literature that comes in the program about resources for people possibly experiencing domestic violence now. So it's a beautiful show, but it's a problematic one, so one has to tread very carefully with the show
There's
like
some
that.
very famous songs in it too.
Oh, very. You'll Never Walk Alone, June is Busting Out All Over. Alan, help me. It's just I'm drawing
You're
a
a
blank.
queer one, Julie Jordyn.
That's one of the more obscure ones that make it to the hit parade at the time. But yes.
You know, If I Loved You.
If I Loved You, yes, absolutely.
Well, and as we well know, with anybody who likes musicals, usually there's a happy ending, and in Roger and Hammerstein musicals, there's not always a happy ending.
There's not
is
always
there?
a happy ending. No.
No.
It's
but,
based on a play, though, that was, was structured that way. It wasn't a happy ending in the play originally. So
Gee whiz.
you can't rewrite the original material.
No, you can't. Now, how do you choose those shows? Because those have to be big decisions.
They are big decisions. I mean, I poll people. Like I'll ask Diane, for example, who directs a show for us every Sunday, what would you like to direct? And I'll kind of start there, asking some people and then of course you have to think about what will sell. We have to get people in the seats.
Yeah.
And then you want to try to tread into newer territory whenever possible. So
It's hard. I remember the first time you all did Sweeney Todd, and that, even though I adore that play, that's not everybody's cup of tea.
No, in fact, I just interviewed Rita Lovett from
who was, I remember Rita Lovett
on our new Summer Lyric podcast, and she was talking about how she remembers when she came back for intermission as Mrs. She's Rita Lovett, who played Mrs. Lovett. When she came back after intermission, she looked out in the audience and she's like, there were a lot more people here a few minutes ago. People just weren't down with the violence in the show.
That was very controversial. I remember that.
But this time we did it. Audiences they're not as squeamish as they used to be, so that's good.
No, and once again, as you mentioned, go to your Facebook page, the Summer Lyric Facebook page, and there's a podcast that you're doing too.
Yeah, there's a podcast that's released every Thursday. So today we had 2 reed players from our orchestra, John Reeks and Stephanie Thompson, who are married.
Goodness, yes.
And so I'm just trying to just get people, not just on the stage, but in the wings, in the pit, everybody.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you.
Glad you're here. Alan.
Well, the shows have to start with a C too. That's the way.
Exactly.
So there's a reason another show that starts with a C that opened its doors back on Broadway back in 1996 is still running and currently the longest running show on the Great White Way and the second longest in Broadway history, Chicago. Why It's Still All That Jazz. With Taylor Lane as Velma Kelly, we learn about these merry murderesses of Chicago who used their notoriety to advance their careers in showbiz, is that right? Ellen Rohde plays Roxy Hart. She's a manipulative, scheming, and cheating murderer. And you can't but help fall in love with her, though. Although she started a little tentative, Rohde was very good. She came on strong as the book went on. Defense lawyer Billy Flynn, played by Connor Sullivan, showed he was there not only for the clients, but he cares about love and maybe the $5,000 he makes needing to fix the trials. He practically oozes around the stage. Very well done. Ilana Kirvan plays Mama Morton. She runs the local jail in a way that seems downright motherly, as long as mother is paid, that is. She has a great singing voice as well. And the actor playing Amos Hart, Roxy's husband, is supposed to be Andrew Meltzer, who we see there, but on Tuesday night his part was played very well by Josh England. The revived Anne Reinking choreography, which was based originally on Bob Fosse's original work back in 1975, really still holds up. And it's a stripped down set that still works very well. When it all gets done, the dancing and the singing has to be top notch, and it is. All the stars in the ensemble make this national touring show one not to miss. There are some adult topics, and some of the show may go over the heads of some of the kids, but this Kander and Ebb musical still shines like few others, and in another 50 years or so, it'll still be relevant. Meanwhile, in the French Quarter, the Fats Waller musical Ain't Misbehavin' is playing to packed houses at Le Petit. It's directed by local phenom turned Broadway star Donald Jones Bourdenave. This is a collection of Fats Waller songs truly that has the joint jumping. Donald not only serves as director and choreographer, but he also stars in the show and was assistant directed by none other than Chase Kamada, another local favorite who's made her way to Broadway. Ryan Glaspie joins Donald in dance as the other male performer in the show, but much of the real heavy lifting, and don't mean that in a derogatory way, but in this work, is done by the trio of very talented singing and dancing stars Danielle Edinburgh Wilson, Jarrell Hamilton, and Khadija One. Broadway. The other star is Fats Waller's own music. It's infectious jazz music that makes the sourest of sourpusses and the saddest of sad sacks happy. And songs like the Jitterbug Waltz, Honeysuckle Rose, Fat and Greasy, and Tain't Nobody's Business If I Do, they're played fantastically by Max Doval and his musical ensemble. It's a musical review show that really doesn't have a book, but it played on Broadway for more than 4 years. It stars like Ken Page and Andre DeShields and Nell Carter. You don't need a story, though, when the music says it all, and no one said it better than Fats Waller, who died way too young at just the age of 39. Ain't misbehaving at Le Petit. Meanwhile, over at Tulane, there's a man running around who's convinced he's dying, yes, and in need of a physician's care. But maybe not just one. Maybe he needs a bunch of physicians. Doug Spearman turns in a superior performance as Argan, a prosperous man who Moliere skewers to perfection in his dissection of the medical profession. Directed by Annalise Juch Fox from an adaptation by Ryder Thornton, this is a very enjoyable play with original music by Brendan Connolly and a really satiric look at hypochondriacs and egomaniacs. Jessica Podwell plays Toinette, the chambermaid there on the left who runs the household, while Alex Page Loomis plays Baleen, Argan's disloyal wife. It's only through the intersection of Toinette and Argan's own brother Berald that he learns of his wife's true intentions and begins to really soften in his treatment of his daughter, Angelique, who's played to perfection by the very talented Alexandria Miles. Robert A. Mitchell plays Berald, who meets in the second of the 3 acts we see him, and Alex Page Loomis doubles in her role and sings a beautiful piece in the second act as well. This ensemble portrays physicians. They open and close the play. It's a marvelous little play penned by Moliere. It was the very last thing he put to paper. He actually died during its run and made several references to physicians and even makes fun of himself as a playwright. You don't want to miss this one, even though it's the New Orleans Shakespeare Festival, this time the New Orleans Moliere Festival at Dixon Hall's Annex, right near where you see Tulane Summer Lyric. And the director, by the way, Annalise Juch Fox, and the translator and adapter Thornton Ryder had a lot to say with me this past week and the NOLA Theater talk show. That show is archived on Facebook and YouTube right now if you want to learn more about The Imaginary Invalid. Also, next week we're going to be seeing the first of the Summer Lyric Theater shows, as Leonard has told us, with a chorus line, the 1975 Best Musical. Jean-A Buisson will be on the show this Monday night with 1 or 2 others from the cast. It's from 8 p.m. to 8:30. And then we'll welcome members from the Le Petit cast of Ain't Misbehavin'. That's the NOLA Theater talk show on the various spots you can see there, the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, theatercrism.com Facebook page, and my own YouTube channel. And lastly, I want to remind everybody who has the acting bug that the joint season auditions for 5 area theaters, their production companies, are all joining together. It'll be taking place on June the 17th and June the 18th at Le Petit. To register, go to the Le Petit site, and maybe you can be on stage with the NOLA Project, Goat in the Road, the Tennessee Williams Theater Company, or Intramural Theater, and then you'll be able to get the acting bug out of your system.
Thank you so much. Grease, the musical, opens tonight, Thursday, at Biloxi's Beau Rivage. Producer Jeb Rand and some cast members recently paid us a visit. Well, even from the 70s, Grease is still the word. And over in Biloxi at the Beau Rivage, it is off and running. And Jeb, my goodness, you produced this for the uninitiated. I don't know who that is, but tell us a little bit about Grease.
Well, thank you, Peg. Grease is really, it's a coming-of-age musical and movie. Of course, the iconic movie from the 70s. It's about friendship and romance, ultimately.
Yeah. Well, the songs are still very much with us. They're still hip. The 50s are still hip and happening.
It's multi-generational. I mean, of course, our generation remembers the movie when it came out originally, but everyone I talk to have seen it, Grease 2, and my kids in their teens, use these songs and TikTok, so they know all the music. It's crazy. So it's multi-generational. It's nostalgic for us, but the young generation certainly loves the feel and sound of the song.
Well, what a cast, because a lot of your cast members performed in touring, Broadway touring companies on Broadway. It's pretty illustrious. And what's really neat, though, is you all have seen something new in terms of meet the cast, a meet and greet opportunity.
We do, in the Beau Rivage. I mean, it's such a very homey place. Like to go there to Beau, you feel like it's your home away from home. So for all of our friends here in the New Orleans area, the viewing area, you can come over to the Beau and have a feel-good time. But what makes it neat, they add this VIP package at any ticket price. So it's not just the expensive seats. You can do an add-on VIP meet and greet post-show. You get to meet this amazing cast. They sign autographs. You get a picture in the 1952 real car, Grease Lightning. It's not from the movie, but it's our real car Grease Lightning. They get a hat, a swag bag with all this merch. It's just a really great experience for anyone that wants to get behind the scenes look at what it's like to be at the Beau and meet this wonderful cast.
Well, you've been at it for a while, I mean, in terms of figure skating and then producing all these shows nationally, huh?
It's been more than a minute. So, yes, my wife and I were professional figure skaters for 25 years, and I've been with MGM and the Beau Rivage since 2012. So I think this is our 14th contract and third Broadway musical together.
Wow. Well, tell us who we will visit with tonight.
Well, we have Lindsay, Jordyn, and Matthew Rella, who played Danny and Sandy, and their interpretation of Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta is just off the charts, just so spectacular. And what are they singing?
You're the one that I want. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Thank you so much.
So much. Thanks, Beck.
Let's take a listen.
I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. 'Cause the power that you're supplying, it's electrifying.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true. Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. You, honey, the one that I want. You, honey, the one that I want. You, the one I need. Oh yes indeed. You're the one that I want.
All right, go to beaurivage.com for tickets. The show runs through June 29th. Time for picks, Poppy.
Don't miss next Friday, Tujak's Rosé All Day Luncheon. Just $55. Lots of delicious rosés to drink.
All right, Alan.
Thursday, July the 30th is Valerie Sassafras's birthday. And for that, she is throwing a big party. They're going to see the film Nobody May Come at the Broadside. Tickets are $22.20. Simpletix.com. I'll see you at the theater.
All right, and now my picks. The 2025 Pride Parade rolls through the quarter this Saturday beginning at 6 p.m. And it starts actually at Toulouse and North Rampart Street. And there's also a community festival at Armstrong Park. For a map and details, go to NewOrleansPride.org. The Preservation Resource Center is having a tour of 3 important mid-century modern homes in the Lakewood South neighborhood. That's on Wednesday, prcno.org for tickets. And commemorating Juneteenth, the end of slavery in America, the New Nation Choir will give a concert at 6 p.m. Wednesday at the New Orleans Museum of Art. Free admission to Louisiana residents on Wednesday. Thank you all so very much, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Happy Father's Day.
Programming on WYES is made possible in part by Susie and Pierre G. Villery.
From Masterpiece to Nova, Antiques Roadshow to Agatha Christie.
And of course, Steppin Out and Informed Sources.
We are pleased to support public television.
It's been our passion.
For a lifetime.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.